Hello traders, today is Monday, January 6, 2025. I'm going to start with Apple today. Keep in mind, this content is not financial advice, it's for educational purposes only. Do your own due diligence and research before you risk your money in any type of investment. Well, Apple is looking much better. MACD and TSI, in my opinion, is still bearish. Well, they're pretty obvious. The RSI, however, is looking much different today. One thing to keep in mind is that in the last 3 trading sessions, we have been bouncing on the 35 SMA. That is pretty important. Now let's take a look at the 5-minute and see the type of action we got today. So we had this, volatile move, which is pretty common in the beginning of the trading session, and we went back to the type of chart that you would actually expect typically in Apple, and this is the reason why I like to day trade Apple when I day trade. Sometimes you see, not all the time, but quite often you see this type of move, a nice push to the upside, or sometimes a push to the downside, and then you see a reversal of the move. Today you had basically 2 opportunities on the 5-minute. You had this push, and then you had this candle that actually was giving you a better indicator or indication of a move to the downside. So you can see it better on the 1-minute, especially if you're day trading or scalping or something like that. So you had this move right here, and then you had this extension on the MACD and the TSI, which give you an indication right in this area that it is, a risky I guess area for a short or to buy puts, but then it actually works out. This is typical. I see it quite often on Apple. Let's go back to the 5-minute. But anyways, let's go back to this move to the downside, and then you're coming back. Buyers are stepping in, and then you went right on the 325 SMA. You got rejected right there, and then you basically went down to almost the same level as where we started the day. We closed green as far as percentage wise goes. The candle was red, then you were flat, then you had a little bit of a push to the upside. You were over the 35 SMA on the 5-minute as well. Anyways, Apple is not looking great, but it seems like it's starting to set up for a possible move to the upside. We have to break 247 or 248, which is this area right here, and then I guess we would be in a better position. MACD, as I mentioned before, and TSI are looking bearish. So for now, I'm being very cautious on how I'm looking at Apple, but it seems like it might be setting up into something quite interesting for the rest of the week. At this point, it's also very critical to keep an eye on the 35 SMA. Seems like, especially in this area, is being quite solid for these candles and for the move. So I think if we break, you're gonna go straight to 237, and then at that point we can reassess, what we're seeing on the chart. It is possible that if you go towards 37, at that point, that's going to be a fantastic opportunity, in my opinion, to actually go to the upside, to get an opportunity to buy calls or to buy shares. So that's what I have for Apple. Now let's move on to this name that I mentioned on my last video as well, and that is AMD. And, I don't know, what can I tell you? Very nice move to the upside. I'm still not convinced, but very nice move nonetheless. We are up. For the day, we were up 33.3%. But at one point, it was a little bit higher than that. I think it was up to 420 or 4 something percentage-wise, which is pretty good. Let's go back to the hour chart. And MACD and TSI are looking much better. I like the fact that we had this strong push to the upside today, but I really want to see getting closer. Well, let's start with this. At least breaking the 35 SMA and then getting closer or having more momentum going into this area. One thing that I really like about this chart, however, is into 134, you have very no, I shouldn't say very, but you have low liquidity in this area, in this tiny area from 130 to 135 or 134. Volume to the upside is also increasing. As I mentioned, MACD and TSI are looking much better, much better. And also what is pretty obvious is that you had this move to the downside, and we might actually be starting, a reversal for AMD, which is something that I've been mentioning for a while. I do have calls on AMD, and I'm not planning to sell them, but it seems like we might get a continuation to the upside. That being said, keep an eye on the 35 SMA and how we behave as far as price action in this area. And also is critical, the 135, 134 area is critical for this name right now. So I think that if we come to this level of resistance and we don't break, you're probably gonna get into range between 134 or 135 and 120, which will be unfortunate, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Now let's move on to the next name, and that is Amazon. So interesting day for Amazon. It had a pretty good start. I mean, the whole setup is very nice. I do have Amazon calls. I did buy them in this candle right here, which was Friday. Let's go to the 5-minute and take a quick look. You had a push to the upside, went down, and then buyers came back up. You went up all the way to 229 pretty much, or 229. And then sellers took control for a little bit, and then buyers closed the day. Now, if you go to the 1 minute, this doesn't look bad. This doesn't look bad at all. Let me do something here. I want to see after hours. Now on the daily, this is looking pretty good. MACD and TSI are looking much better than how they looked last week. RSI is looking pretty good. It's pointing out already and about to cross the signal line. I think that Amazon has room to go towards 233 and probably break that level of resistance, which was prior all-time highs. Just keep a close eye on how this name is moving. But I love the fact that you broke this range right here, and you're going over this trend line, and now it seems like it's setting up very nicely to go towards 233 or maybe beyond that. Now let's take a look at some, let's move on to, actually too fast. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Well, what else can I say about Bitcoin, right? We were talking about, let me zoom out. Last time I mentioned Bitcoin was on the 4th, which was on Saturday or Sunday? On Saturday. So we were on this candle. And what I was saying is that you have to break the 35 SMA, and you have to break this area of resistance at 100,000 with momentum, which we did. I do think that even if you come down towards 100 and retest, we are probably going to go into new all-time highs, especially now that Trump is going to be taking office within, 15 days or maybe less, 14 days. That is quite important. I have a price target, a very conservative price target by the month of March of 120. I think we're probably going to get, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to that point, way faster than what we think. So, Bitcoin is looking fantastic. Look at the MACD, look at the TSI, look at the strength of the stock, which is the TSI. It's looking much better than the MACD. You had this divergence right here between the signal line and the TSI line, and now you're crossing it very nicely. You're catching momentum as far as volume. It's a little bit right today. Not today, but right now. But you're at 102. I think you're going to hit new all-time highs pretty soon. This is fantastic news, in my opinion. This level right here, which was 192, was as strong as I actually thought, and as I mentioned in some of my prior videos, so you can go back and take a look at those. And again, this level 100, I think is strong also. It's prior all-time highs at one point, and I do believe that as a level of support and resistance is going to be a challenging level. I also like the fact that you have a very nice level of liquidity here, which actually makes this move even more significant, considering that you broke from this volume shelf to the upside, and it's going to be a little bit harder for this name to break to the downside as well. So it's looking good. Another thing that I mentioned on Saturday is that all of these names right here are going to benefit tremendously from that move. Look at MSTR, 11%. Mara, which is lagging in my opinion, 4.6%. Riot, another one that is lagging. Let's take a look at those daily charts. Those names are lagging. I'm not including Mara in this video, but this is interesting to see. Let's take a look at Riot, which I was liking Riot pretty much right on this area and this area right here. Look, Riot had a very nice move. I kind of like Riot right now more than Mara, but Mara has more going on than Riot for sure. Look at Coin, 6%. CLSK, almost 6%. Look at this chart. This looks fantastic. I think this is going to continue moving towards 15. And let's take a look at Coin. Look at that. Boom. Wow. Okay. So that's what I have for Bitcoin, and I guess proxies that I end up mentioning them. Let's move on to, let me take a look at this. Where are you? GEV. So GEV was, let me take a look at, I'm sorry, let me take a note on this before this is interesting. So I've been telling you about GEV for a while. It closed at 5% today, or 4.88%. Look at the MACD, look at the TSI. I told you that once this break is going to move. So on Friday, you had a 4.45% day. Today, you had a 4.88 day. These things are starting to move. Now, is this going to continue moving higher and higher? I think it's very possible. I think this is catching momentum again. And I told you this. Let me take a look at when I mentioned this on the 29th. I mentioned this on the 21st of December. Let's take a look. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the first time. No, actually, I mentioned this on the 11th, on December 11th. So we were here. Go back to that video. We were somewhere. We were on this candle right here, on this green candle. I was looking at the 35 SMA. I mentioned this on the 21st. I mentioned this, I believe, on the 19th. On the 21st for sure. Yeah. So I started mentioning this on the 11th of December. And then on the 21st, which is this candle right here. I was looking, the 21st was a Saturday, so I was looking at this candle right here. So I mentioned it here on this green candle. I mentioned it here on this candle, and then I did mention this name again on the 2nd, and then on the 4th. I've been telling you about this name for a while. I also show you this. You had this consolidation right here. Boom, you went up. You had this consolidation right here. This is textbook. This is, I shouldn't say easy trading, but this is obvious as far as I could tell. Now, you have this gap right here. Now there's no liquidity because it's new. Basically, you're in price discovery. I understand all that. So there's risks implied into that move for sure. But was it obvious to me, at least, that if this breaks to the upside, it was going to be a nice move? Yes, and now we are here. I said something very similar to Datadog, and that moved very nice. Now Datadog is going, correcting a little bit, but there's names that are having this type of behavior. Let's take a look at, just for comparison, INOT. I mentioned INOT in the past before as well. I love this type of setups. INOT is another one that might actually give us a little bit of a gift. But going back to GEV, again, I've been following this chart. I love to see this type of setups, especially when you're coming on the to the upside and then you get into range, while all the other indicators, in this case, the lower indicators, are starting to cool down. Now the MACD, the TSI, the RSI are looking bullish. I think this probably is going to continue moving up. The best case scenario is if you retest support and then you move up to the upside. Now let's move on to where am I? let's take a look at HIMS. And let me take a quick note. This chart is not looking bad at all. You know, I think it had a pretty decent start of the day, and then it, like pretty much else, you had this rush in the first 15 to 20 minutes of trading, and then you know, sellers took control. You got to the 325 SMA on the 5-minute chart, and then bounced back to the upside. You went up 1% for the day. That's not bad in my opinion. This is just going to accumulate more volume into this range between 25.50 and 29.7, which is basically the areas where, you know, where I'm interested to take a look, or actually to follow HIMS. MACD and TSI are looking much better than what we were not long ago on Friday or Thursday. So this is, I think this is shaping into something quite interesting. I might actually jump into HIMS if we break 29.7. I just gotta see the market in general. But one of the things that I mentioned in prior videos or last week, I was saying that we're gonna take or Thursday of last week and Friday of last week, that's what I said, we're gonna give us a direction for the rest of the month. And it seems like it actually played out very close to what I was saying. On Thursday, things were a little bit choppy, but Friday had a lot of direction. And that's what we have seen in a lot of names. So this is your Friday candle in this case. Now I think we're gonna move in a lot of, you know, for a lot of setups are gonna continue moving to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised of that. So that's what I have for HIMS. I think that we can be in this range between 25.50 and 29.7, or 29.7. But I'm more inclined that we're gonna start moving to the upside. If we break 29.7, I might actually get a position, because then you're in better shape, or in better positioned to go into all-time highs again. This looks pretty good in my opinion. Okay, let's move on. I shouldn't get all focus on it. Where am I? MBLY, MBLY. I've been mentioning MBLY for, I don't know, quite a few videos already. So I did it on the last video. I did it on the second. That's the last I have, I believe, on the second. But I've been looking at MBLY for a while. One of the things that I said, if we were on the second, I was looking at this candle right here. I said that we had to break that 200 SMA, which is this line right here with momentum. We did on Friday. Again, Friday gave us direction on a lot of names. Friday was, in my opinion, an indicator that there was going to be a continuation. Today we close at 0.67%. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. I just want to look at this. Buyers really came back in. My price target for MBLY is 25 for now. I think once we get to this level, the 325 SMA is going to be very close to the 25 level, and you might find a little bit of resistance. You don't have a lot of liquidity here all the way to exactly where the 325 SMA is, which is a good thing. MACD and TSI are not looking bad at all. RSI is a little bit on the overbought level, but I think if we have a little of red going or retesting the 200 SMA, this is gonna correct. I'm still having a price target for MBLY of 25, but I think if we break 25 and you break that 35 SMA, then you're running towards the gap fill. I wouldn't be surprised of that. This name is looking incredible. This is really moving now. It had this massive sell-off right in this area, but now is actually coming back strong. I really like this name, and that's why I've been mentioning it more often. Now let's go back to the Max 7 and let's talk about Meta. And look at this candle. I did have some calls. I sold my calls today. One of the things that I said yesterday was, or the day before, on the video before, was it yesterday? No. On my past video was that I was gonna get into Meta as soon as it would break this level of resistance. When it did, I got in and I got out today. So I got a quick swing on this name, and look at this chart. Beautiful. A real hard push to the upside. A lot of names were cooling down very quickly, like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, were losing momentum, but Meta actually managed to continue, or at least to have this level of support in this area. And then when buyers came back in, this moved very nice. One of the things that I like about Meta is that when it moves in one direction, it really pushes. So that is something that I appreciate on this name. But I got out. I felt like this candle was already, I don't know, I already had, I wanted to protect my profits, I guess. And another thing was like, well, this is already kind of like extended. Let's get out. I don't know if we're going to retest. I wouldn't be surprised if we do, but it looks, based upon what I'm seeing on the MACD and the TSI and momentum in general, looks like we're going to hit new all-time highs. I just wanted, in the way I like to trade, I just wanted to take profits and protect my capital as well. And that works out for me very well. I just try to minimize risk as much as possible. Even, and I consider risk when I have profits, or when I'm green and I want to secure that money rather than wait. But anyways, I do think that we're probably gonna hit 639 by the end of the week. I wouldn't be surprised. So this is looking fantastic. Congratulations if you actually got this move. It was a very nice move, actually, coming all the way from the trend line right here, and then rebounding, breaking resistance, and now getting into the next level of resistance, which is prior all-time highs. Now let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft was looking pretty good in the beginning of the session, of the trading session, and then look what happened. This was looking fantastic. I had hopes. I was like, maybe I should get back in. And luckily, I didn't do it. You actually and I think I didn't do it because I was day trading Amazon, and I was, what else? Yeah, I was day trading Amazon, and I was taking a look at Robinhood Legend, and I reopened that account, and so I was playing with that platform, and so I wasn't paying much attention. But when I was looking at this chart, I was like, right in this area, I was thinking, well, this is not looking bad, is respecting this area of support. And then as soon as it broke, I knew it was just gonna sell off. So when I came back to look at it towards the end of the trading day, it didn't look good at all. Now you were up 1.6%, whatever. And I'm saying whatever because, this is not the best candle. Now, am I bearish on Microsoft? Not yet. I do think that this holding the 200 SMA was quite important. The MACD and the TSI are not looking bad at all. The RSI is not looking bad either. So we might actually have a decent, couple of days coming up. So I'm not losing, I guess, hope on Microsoft. And, even though I don't like the way these candles are behaving right now, I wouldn't be surprised that if we actually get a little bit of momentum tomorrow or the next following days and break this level at 431. I think if we break the 431 level, which is going to be in line with the 35 SMA, we might have a nice move towards 443. So Microsoft, in my opinion, is still on my short list of names that I might actually trade this week. Now, NVIDIA. let me take a quick note on the timing here. And I sold my position on NVIDIA today. Do I think it's going to continue going up? Possibly. It's very possible. And just like what I did with Amazon, I'm sorry, well, I sold my Amazon position too. What I did with Amazon Meta, and I did the same with NVIDIA today. I just wanted to keep protect my profits already. Now, I've been playing this whole move for a while. I did buy a call somewhere in this area right before I went to the East Coast. And then I wanted to sell here, but I was doing some last minute Christmas shopping. So I did sell in this candle right here, which, you know, is fine. I was already pretty in a very good situation. And then I got back in this candle right here. Right when you broke this level of resistance, when it turned into support, I got into this candle. And then I left on this candle right here. So I guess my trade itself wasn't too bad because I actually took advantage of basically these two pushes to the upside. And now I'm out. Now, am I going to get back in? Maybe, but I'm just going to let it see. Let it play and see how this behaves. MACD and TSI in this case is looking fantastic. I think that NVIDIA still has more room to continue going up. One of the things that I mentioned in one of my videos, I don't remember which one, however, is that when you see this type of setups, meaning you have this head and shoulders right here, and a lot of people were afraid of this, setup. And in my opinion, when a setup fails to the opposite side, it tends to actually move quite fast in the opposite direction. So let me take a look at, I just want to see something really quick. Yeah, I was just reading. So anyways, NVIDIA is not looking bad at all. Let's move on to the next name, and that would be Tesla. Yes, Tesla. Let's do this. Sorry, today I had such a busy day, so if I am a little bit off today, I apologize. But look at Tesla. You had at 8.22% yesterday. Today, barely green. The candle is still red, and it's because I'll show you why. Look at this. So from the get-go, it was a complete sell-off. On the 5-minute, you were on the 325 SMA, which, you know, is pretty strong on this time frame. And then right here, buyers came back in towards the end of the trading session. Now, I do think that Tesla, yes, it does have room to go back to 365, which is something I was preaching. But it also has some sort of momentum now to the upside. It's kind of weird. But again, it's trading, as I said on my last video, it's trading the way Tesla trades. MACD and TSI is still kind of bearish, but they are kind of, you know, slowing down. Especially the TSI looks like it's slowing down a little bit. The RSI is neutral. It's not doing much, which is also a good indication. Now you are in a area that has low liquidity, so the moves might be a little bit volatile to the upside and to the downside. Just keep that in mind. Now you only have to be concerned, at least for now, on 365 as your level of support, and this area right here, which is 415. If you break 415 again, which is prior all-time highs from 2021, I believe, I think you're probably gonna move towards 488 pretty quickly. But yeah, I think I would proceed with caution, I guess, on Tesla. But that's what I'm seeing on these names. Again, I apologize if I'm a little bit off. I had a super busy day and I still wanted to put a video out. So that's that. Okay, friends, I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a lighter day, so I'm going to have more time to really, I guess, put my thoughts together for my for the video. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Please subscribe and like the video. Other than that, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you.